Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Patten from Cornerstone Baptist Church, and I'd like to share some things from Genesis. I'm going to read one verse from Hebrews first. Hebrews 11:7 says, "By faith Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith." I'm not going to try and explain each part of the verses to you, but I kind of wondered about the word condemned in there. And have you ever complained to a teacher that the test was so hard that there's nobody that could have passed it? And then you find out someone got a great mark on it. It kind of blows your whole theory. Well, what it's saying is that Noah was able to see that God had a warning and he obeyed it. And so the others that didn't do what Noah did had no excuse. That's basically what it's getting at. Genesis 6:5, "And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord." This family was the only exception, apparently, to the wickedness that was everywhere. In Genesis 6:11, "The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make in the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. From under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant." Now he's talking to Noah. "Will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark. To keep them alive with thee, they shall be male and female. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing in the earth after its kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him. So did he." And jump to Genesis 7:1. "And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the earth, the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth." So there's 7 days left, and this is going to start. They are in the ark, but God has not closed the door yet. So the point of that is that the people outside could still decide to join them, to accept God's provision, but they don't. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives, with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and beasts that are not clean, of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. They went in 2 by 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And it came to pass after 7, and in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. All in whose nostrils is the breath of life, and all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which is upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. We started out in Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 11, as you know, brings back a lot of the people of the Old and New Testament who have displayed great faith. I just want to read a couple verses there. In 11:29, by faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians, essaying to do, were drowned. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith the harlot Rahab perished, not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. What shall I say more? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and Barak and Samson and Jephthah and David also and Samuel and the prophets. So we should learn from these things that God does what he says he's going to do, and he will provide for us if we are obedient, if we do as he asks. So I have a few thoughts on all this. First is that choices have consequences. There's no safety in numbers. The vast majority of people may make the wrong choice, and they may find comfort in the fact that there's so many of them that have made the same choice. But that choice may be completely wrong. We may think that we're safe. You may believe that because nothing's happening yet, you're safe. I remember teachers that would, maybe you're taking a test and they tell you, do not look up, keep your eyes fastened on your paper. And maybe you glance up once and they don't say a word. They let you just keep taking the test. It's not until the test is over that you realize that your test is no good because there was something you were supposed to do and you did not. But you don't find out right away. We see that while God is loving and merciful in providing a way to escape the penalty of our sin demands through Jesus. That's why I cannot just say, that he'll just forgive us, forget about it. It's okay, don't worry about it. Maybe you've had people say after you've done something, it's all right, don't worry about it. God made a way, and that's through Jesus Christ. He can't just forgive sin. There is someone who paid our sin for us. We can see the ark for what it is. The ark is a picture of Jesus. It's like the people that offered something for Rahab. If she would help them, she would have salvation, not through those two men, but through their God. And they would be protected. Because everyone in that town, except for her, died. So there are some analogies between Jesus and the ark. They had to realize that there was a need. They had to realize that there was something, they couldn't stay outside the ark. They had to realize the rain was coming and they would drown. We have to realize there's a reason we have to get in Jesus. And that's the fact that there's something wrong with us. There was a time element. They had to do it before the doors closed. We must be saved before either the end of our life comes or the Lord comes back for us. They needed to forget all the people around them that laughed at Noah. They thought it was foolish. Hey, we don't see any rain. When has it rained? Why do we have to worry about water? There's people that say that you don't need God. You don't need to get saved. You don't need to read the Bible. They're fools. Let God show you what you need to do. Let him show you that there is sin. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And that God will save you if you turn to him. Thank you for listening. Bye.